What's up, everybody? Let's talk about something that took me quite a while to learn how to do, and that is hacking in Cyberpunk 2077. So, if you want to be able to uh, kind of stealth kill from a distance without drawing aggro, this is an awesome ability in this game that there's not really a very good tutorial on how to do it, but you're going to see me chain a couple things here just to nuke these dudes. And of course, I'm going to go through all of this a little bit later, as well as those screens you've probably seen a ton of so far, where you have a bunch of numbers to choose from, and it doesn't quite make sense. I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So the first thing let's go over is your actual inventory and how you access the stuff and change it. So I'm going to go to my inventory, and then I'm going to click on my cyberware. And now I'm clicking on the operating system. So you see this operating system up here. You got like available mods. On the left, you have the type of deck you're using. In the upper left-hand side, you've got the mods below that. These are the mods that are currently installed. And then you have your entire list of all the other available mods over here on the right. But basically how this works is you have a cyberware deck, and the deck has RAM. So like in this case, the number of RAM that I have. The RAM is the kind of like, think of it like your magic power of how you're going to cast a spell. In this case, you're going to cast your hack. The buffer size, this is when you're on those coded screens. This is basically, the buffer refers to how many shots you have at entering a number. So the sequence. So if I have 10, I have 10 options to choose numbers to match all of the numbers you see on the screen. Then you have the mods. The mods are what are installed. Think of this like your learned spells for the day, or however you want to think of it like that, and they use RAM to cast. It'll say what the RAM cost is, and then of course you have other abilities that lower the total cost of RAM. So let's put some of these to use. I'm going to show kind of an effective way to use this. So the guy almost saw me there. What I'm going to do first is we're going to go into the hack screen. So to start off, I'm going to do the breach, and breach is going to bring us to the coded hack looking screen. Now, when you've got this up, you've got this breach time section up here. That's going to tell you once you start clicking how much time you have to cast. These are your demons that'll install. So you've got two sequences that you need to upload that will trigger the result on the right. So I've got a demon of ice pick, I've got a demon of mass and vulnerability. Now, as I hover over these numbers, you'll see them light up on the left. What you need to do is basically make these all work. And you see my buffer section above, I have 6 chances to get all 6 of these numbers, which is very easy when there's only 6 total. But you want to end the first sequence with a number that starts the second sequence, because the second you enter one, if it's wrong, it will override the one that's currently in place for the other one. So in this case, I want to do 5-5, 1C, and basically you see that E9. When you move one way, horizontal or lateral, it's going to flip and go the opposite direction the next time. So if I click 5-5, now it's going to go lengthwise down. I choose 1C, it goes over to the left. See, I got one sequence done, and one's already filled out for that first one. So there we go, both hacks go through. Kind of a tricky thing, but the more you toy with it, it'll start to make sense. Just don't worry about taking your time in the beginning to help figure it out. Now that I've got all these hacked, here's another cool trick. I can access this camera, which now that I'm in the camera, I can flip through all these camera screens and start running my hacks through the camera, and I will remain unseen basically this entire fight. Actually, I think I mess up a couple times, but you'll see what I mean. So someone started seeing me. So I'm going to go back into that camera. And you can flip through the cameras on the bottom left. You can see all the different cameras we can look at. But as I'm looking over at this guy, let's go ahead and inject him with something. It fried him. It's taken a minute for him to fall down, but dead. And some of these skills will spill over to people standing near the person, and it works really good if you cluster them together. There's things like the whistle that'll make them group up, kind of a call for backup. They group around each other, and then you cast something that does like an AoE. And again, it's getting to the point towards, kind of mid part of this game that most of the easiest way really to kill people is not even with shooting them, it's just to drop a bunch of these hacks. Entirely up to you if you want to play that kind of stealthy tech way. But that's basically how hacking works. I got one other thing to go over also, and that is related to how do you get a new deck, how do you get the right items to do this stuff. It was very confusing for me at the start because the cyberware I had, as every starting player's is garbage. I think you only have like 3 or 4 buffer slots. You're only able to install 3 things. You have barely any RAM, and you're not able to do any of the stuff you're seeing right now. So let's go over how you buy these things. You have a Cyberdoc and you have a Netrunner. And it seems like the Netrunner would be where you get a new deck, but think of it in the way that you need to actually have it installed, where the RAM and everything is going to be plugged into you. So this is the Cyberdoc, where we're going to go and shop for a brand new deck. And right now this is the one I had equipped when I was going over all this stuff a minute ago. I'm going to pick a new one here. Looks like there's a couple to choose from. You can do the comparisons. There's another thing on here where you can see like the skills that can be used. See down, like it shows like 10 different ones. This one only has 8. That one has 10 that can be cast. So it's more compatible with different variants of attacks. So quick attacks or hacks. This one's really comparable to the one I have. Don't know what's going on there. It looks like this one can do some kind of a berserk ability. Haven't tried any of that yet, but I'm sure there's plenty more options like this out there. Okay, so let's just buy the, looks like it's epic quality, this orange one here. It's a definite upgrade for the one I have, so let's just buy it. Now you're going to notice that the one I had equipped is now in the shop owner's position, and the one that I bought is now in my position. That's because you swap them, and so I don't have anything in my inventory to show this thing, but it's now installed. And so now I need to go and reinstall all of the skills that I want to use. So you can see that here, as I click it, there's no option to choose another one. I don't know if that's by design or intentional. It seems like I should be able to keep my old deck if I wanted it, because you are kind of committing to the deck you have. So it would be interesting with the ones that have the certain skills on them. So here I'm just installing a bunch of very offensive spells, mostly things that do damage. And then I'm going to also add ping. Ping is a skill that you can use to help find out where other electronics are in the area that you can hit, and where the sources are for those. It works really well when you're trying to find door locks and things like that. You can ping a device in the same network. But now let's go over the Netrunner. So in the way that the Cyberdocs are the ones that get you new decks, Netrunners are the ones that are going to get you new skills. So you can find these in a couple places throughout the city. This is a lower leveled one, so there's not really anything worth buying here, but a lot of these spells or these skills, hacks, are necessary for building new hacks. So later in the game you'll start finding recipes to actually build some of these out, and you need these to be able to do that. So you can either buy them here or make them yourself. But these are prerequisites to actually build out some of the skills. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching and good luck.